Good evening, everyone. This is Rick Avery with the sports affiliation with Friday Night Drafts Fights episode 8, I believe. I actually have it on 7 here. I do have my guest on tonight, JD from the Goat District podcast. You could check on YouTube at this link here, youtube.com/@Goat District. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me, man. This will be a good way to spend a Friday night. We got the World Series on, the Jays are on in the background. We're gonna play some DFS. Any time I get to get on and talk fantasy, it's a good time. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward. Thanks for inviting me, Rick.
Thanks for coming on. I do greatly appreciate it. I very much enjoy your content, so I thought why not just reach out? And I'm glad you reached right back out to me saying that you could come on. You were supposed to be on a couple weeks ago, but you had some family issues, but all is well now. So we are good to go. Here's the YouTube channel. Yeah, week 8 playbook was just 2 days ago on Wednesday. Do you stream every Wednesday?
No, so we were actually going every Tuesday evening, and then every once in a while, the guests schedule kind of dictates when we go live. So we decided to go on Wednesday for Josh. We're going to be trying to do most of the shows on Thursdays, late morning, like around 11 o'clock, just because we found by Tuesday evenings, we were missing a lot of the information. We do a lot of waiver wire stuff. We do a lot of, buy lows, that kind of stuff, like lineup optimization, anything that gets you ready going to the next week, whether you're playing Dynasty, redraft. I was going to say best ball, but those are locked in. Those are locked in. But even if you're playing DFS, you got some sports betting going on. We kind of hit our favorite topics of the week going into the upcoming week. So we get you ready to set your lineups basically and to manage your league. So we focus a little more on high stakes just because Dan and I play mostly on the FFPC. But we try to get guests on and share information that helps all fantasy players for sure.
Awesome. So earlier I was going to ask you if you had any familiarization with DFS, but you didn't even know you could play it until today. So
I actually do. I used to play back in the day, and then they changed the laws up here. I'm near Toronto, so in Ontario, the province I'm in. Because they wanted to bring in sports betting, a lot of the laws changed. So there's some best ball sites I can't get on. I can't play on Underdog, but I can play FFPC. I can play on Drafters. So it just depends. And then when you told me you were doing a lineup on Drafters earlier today, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go on there if I can see if I can at least pull up the prices. And I realized I can actually access it. So I'm pretty excited because I can actually start playing DFS again.
Yeah. It's addicting, that's for sure. It's my favorite form of fantasy, just with all the lineup configurations you can do, and you're playing with thousands of people, and they're doing the exact same thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and go over last week's lineup real quick. I lost again, 2 in a row that I've lost. Lost to Brad Kamara, who is the lead editor at Roto Wire, I believe. Good friend of mine. We met at Scott Fishbowl, and I also lost him in Scott Fishbowl last week too. So that's double whammy. So I'll be donating to Fantasy Cares. He was gracious enough for me to swap out a player named Josh Jacobs because I had a function I had to go to because I wasn't sure he was going to play, to Saquon Barkley. But Jacobs did end up playing, and I would have won if I had Josh Jacobs in the game. So that's how it goes.
That's how fantasy goes, man. It doesn't matter if it's DFS, redraft. That's just how it goes, man.
Yeah. So just the rules of the game. Typically, you're not allowed to swap unless the player's out. You can't go over your salary or take out a player. We can't have the same players on the team. So would you like to go first or second? Because it's just going to go back and forth at this point.
You're the host, man. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
I'll go first because I never go first.
Yeah, then go ahead, man.
All right. I'll just start off with my first pick. We'll go with Bijan Robinson at running back against the horrible Miami Dolphins defense. He didn't have a great game against the 49ers defense, but he was able to command 20 touches and getting 21 fantasy points on DraftKings scoring just with his DPR points. So we're going to go with Bijan Robinson, a huge home favorite against the Dolphins for my first pick.
All right. I like it. I like Atlanta this week for sure. They definitely have a nice matchup. I'm actually going to go to a guy who's had a bit of a tough season. Started off really strong and then has not been great, especially for ADP wise, but they're coming off bye. The quarterback is coming in wobbly a bit. So I'm going to go Derrick Henry at home against Chicago. I think he's due for a big game. I think that offense with a coach like Harbaugh coming off a bye will start to get things realigned. And I think this is a nice spot for Henry. And he kind of gives you that top end upside, but at a discounted price right now at $6,000.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I had the games over the total's 49 points. It's the highest total of the week. Do you think it's going to be more of a shootout type game, or with you selecting Derrick Henry, you think it's just going to be, they're going to go up and then Derrick Henry's just going to take over?
I think that they need to get Derrick Henry right for them to make a run. And Lamar coming off of injury, I don't necessarily know that he always runs. Let's face it, he always ends up running. But I just don't. I think if they can avoid it this week, they will. And I think they'll lean a bit more on Derrick Henry. So yeah, I mean, I do. It is a nice over under at 49.5 for sure, and that's kind of what you try to lean on. They also have they're also 7-point favorites. So you hope they get a lead and they kind of keep it and make Chicago chase them. Yeah.
Well, since you got Derrick Henry, let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone because I set something up before the show. So we're going to go with we'll go with the highest player quarterback wise. We'll go Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
First week back against bad Bears defense. Secondary wise, a lot of their secondary players are out. When Lamar Jackson goes off, he goes off. Typically, he goes off with 2 or more pass catchers. Hint, hint. I might throw in some more Ravens. But with this game being such a high total, I want to get leverage off your Derrick Henry pick, and I want to go with Lamar Jackson to hopefully score me some running touchdowns.
All right. I got to be smart here. I got to play a little strategy here.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to pick my second running back. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley. I think at home, Philly wasn't the best outing against the Giants the last time they met. And I mean, we've seen the offense kind of pick up a bit, obviously in the passing game. I feel like this just could be a nice get right game for Barkley. He hasn't looked awful. He just hasn't had those big burst plays that he had last year, which really made his season. And I think that, I feel like this is one of those games where the revenge game aspect is nice. They're at home. I feel like they're going to want to get back at the Giants. And again, he's not super expensive at 7,600, and he kind of gives you that big game upside at the position.
Yeah, they're over 7.5 points. 7.5 points. What's the word I'm looking for? Favorites.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that pick quite a lot, especially with AJ Brown not playing. There's more options for him to get the ball, dump offs, just in case the pass rush is coming out, because the Eagles O-line's not very good.
Yeah, the Eagles giving up the 8th most points to running backs this season so far. So that's definitely not their strong spot, like when you're looking at their defense, or sorry, the Eagles. Why am I looking at the Eagles? You said Eagles there, and it kind of threw me off. No, you know what? The Giants have been, they've been surprisingly decent against the running back position. What are they? They're like 22nd. Hold on. I've got it upside down here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So they're like 12th best against the run. It's not necessarily the defensive matchup that I'm looking at, which, you know, you might look at that and usually try to attack the weaker defenses. But again, sometimes you just get a gut feeling on a situation in a game. And we saw how bad this Eagles team looked last time they played the Giants, which wasn't that long ago. So you got to think divisional rivals, they're going to want to make it right. And they got the passing game going. AJ Brown is out now. So I think they lean a little Barkley here.
Okay. Good pick there. We'll go ahead and make my second pick. I was going to make this pick regardless of if he was playing or not, but I'm going to go with my first receiver. We're going to go with Ja'Marr Chase at 8,100. Let's see here. Over under is 44.5. Bengals are a 6.5 point favorite against the decimated Jets. I think it's a Flacco revenge game with him being on the Jets before. 23 targets last game against Pittsburgh. I don't think he's going to get that much. He might get 10 to 12. And if he gets 10 to 12 targets, hopefully one of those will be to a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue anything with Ja'Marr Chase, right? Flacco comes in and would he get 23 targets if Flacco's first game? So you know that Flacco's looking for him. I mean, Flacco comes in a veteran. He's a smart man. You know, I'm going to target my top two guys, and that's what he did. And I don't see that really changing this week against the Jets.
Yeah, I wasn't going to really play him against, even if Sauce Gardner was going to play, I still would have think Chase is a solid option because I don't think Sauce Gardner's that good. He just gets, anytime he gets beat, he gets pass interference calls, and the play gets negated anyway. So we'll just go with Ja'Marr Chase here.
I like it. All right. I'm going to actually go with, just so you don't snipe me later on, I'm going to go Zay Flowers as one of my receivers to go with that Derrick Henry. Again, I don't know that Lamar is necessarily going to run the ball that much. Could see him throwing the ball a bit more, focusing on Flowers and letting Henry take care of the rest of that. Let me look at where the Bears here. Yeah, Bears are kind of middle of the pack against receivers so far this year. And again, we talked about the over-under at 49.5, so the points have to come from somewhere. And I like Flowers this week. This is a strategical play. You know, you took Lamar. You know, I got to take that stack away from you. So we'll go Flowers here.
Well, Zay Flowers was one of my picks, so I have to mess with things on the fly here, but
pivot. You got to pivot. I'm making you pivot on the fly.
Yeah, and Flowers at 5,400 makes it a little awkward for pricing wise. So I'm just trying to see what we can do here. But in the meantime, I'll just get one part of it. I'll just get Mark Andrews.
Nice. Yeah, Mark Andrews is definitely nice this week. Where is it here? The Bears. Yeah, they're kind of middle of the pack against tight ends so far this season. But again, just, you know, Lamar, you got to think this Ravens team gets right this week offensively. We haven't seen the high-powered offense that we're used to seeing. They are at home, so we'll see if they can get it going against the Bears here. I think, the over-under kind of says it. We're hoping for a shootout, and Mark Andrews could definitely be part of that for sure.
Yeah, and like the Ravens kind of have to get right, or they're not going to make the playoffs. Like
that's exactly it.
I just took a stab at I put in a bet for Ravens to win division because after their schedule's pretty easy.
What was that? What was that paying? I kind of like that. What was that paying?
It was like plus 180.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that.
But I was just looking at the schedules, and I'm just like, Steelers have so many more difficult games, and I don't think the Steelers are actually that good. So I think the Ravens could just win out, and as long as they win this one, I think they can win out. So
he's definitely due. Andrew's definitely due. He's usually a red zone guy. He's only had one game so far this year. He's had the 2 touchdowns against Detroit. Otherwise, he hasn't had a touchdown. Even red zone wise, they hasn't really been a target for Lamar. So you got to think that they go back to what has led success for this offense, and Andrews is definitely part of that.
For sure. Who would you like to make for your next pick?
I'm going to go. I'm going to pair up Devontae Smith with my Barkley against the Giants, with AJ Brown being out. It wasn't last game, right? That it was 2 games ago. Devontae Smith went off, right?
It was last week against the Vikings.
It was last week. Okay.
Yep. He had 11 targets, 9 catches, 183 yards, and a touchdown.
That's what it was. So not that I'm chasing points here, because that's never a successful move in fantasy overall. But with AJ Brown being out, again, like I said, just that you got to think that Philly's coming into this game, and they want to make things kind of right with their division rivals. And the Giants, I mean, they're giving up the 10th most points to the receiving position, and at home, I just like Devontae Smith and Barkley in this spot here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think last year AJ Brown was out for a few games, and Devontae Smith was good. Also, Dallas Goedert, another player to look out for. And it's also National Tight End Day on Sunday. So
yes.
So look out for Dallas Goedert. I think he'll do well this week also. I'm flummoxed here who to pick since the Zay Flowers thing's gone.
That really messed your. See, that's all part of the strategy, man. I'm just messing with your. I can give you the actual splits because I've got it here. So if you look at, you know what? Let me make that the last. Let's go with the last. No, what happened here? Trying to do the splits with. Let's do
with
Smith and AJ being out. So if let's say, I mean, you're looking at 3. We went from 14 points to 17 fantasy points PPR wise. Definitely adds about 4 targets more a game when AJ Brown is not on the field. So PPR wise, and he's a long ball guy, right? So he's going to give you yards. With that, you're looking at 115 versus 170 average yards. So it definitely makes a difference. Hurts has to throw the ball to someone, and I think Devontae Smith can not as big of a game yards wise. Like I'm not looking for another 180 yards, but if he can get you a touchdown and anything over 100 or close to that, I think he'll pay off his price. He's not super expensive either. He's like $5,900.
Yeah, so all he really needs like 18 points for him to pay off. So that's not terrible.
Exactly.
All right. I am flummoxed. All right. I'm going to go with a receiver here. This team that he plays against, the Tennessee Titans, give up the most long plays in the NFL other than the Dallas Cowboys. So we're going to go Alex Pierce at 4,600. I played Kayshon Boutte last week, and he got a touchdown. He was quite good. So you go to teams that don't pressure the quarterback, you play Boutte for Patriot fans, and if they are pressuring Drake May, then you play Diggs. Just swap them off. But Alex Pierce against the Titans. Titans are big dogs, and I'm hoping Alex Pierce gets in the end zone at least once. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for 4,600. I'm just trying to get 12 to 13 points out of him for the max. So if he gets more than that, that's just all ceiling. So I'm happy with that.
I like it. Pierce seems a little more consistent. I think people liked him better with Richardson just because of the long ball, the arm that Richardson offers. But he's been good with Daniel Jones. I mean, the strength of the Colts is definitely the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. People wonder if, is it sustainable for them to keep this up? I think it is, because Daniel Jones has time in the pocket, and when he has time, we've seen him be successful. So I don't, unless injuries, kind of creep in with the Colts. They've got the running game going. They've got Pittman there to, take away some of that defense. I think Pierce, as long as he keeps going, because look, AD Mitchell was a guy I thought would pop this year, and he had his chance, and he, dropped it at the 1 yard line. So I think that gives an opportunity for Pierce to come in, and Downs has also been dealing with some injuries. So again, Downs is more of a kind of short to intermediate guy, but I think Pierce is definitely at that price, a nice upside play, and an offense that's just rolling right now.
Yeah, and with Justin Simmons is out for the Tennessee Titans defensive line, so that's going to probably give Daniel Jones even more time in the pocket.
Nice. That's definitely valid.
All
right. I'm going to take my last receiver here. I'm going to go with Odunze. Go back to that Baltimore-Chicago game. The Ravens giving up the second most points to receivers. As much as I think they get it right, I think the high-scoring games, will still be a factor here. We see the over-under, like we said, close to 50. So I'm going to go Odunze as my third receiver here at 6,300.
Nice. Let me go back here.
He seems to be Caleb's kind of go-to when you're looking at their receivers, and he offers also kind of that long ball play as well. So he's kind of in a similar spot to Devontae Smith, just doesn't have the DJ Moore type of competition, obviously in Philly with AJ Brown missing, but he seems to be looking at Odunze. Odunze is a guy who was heavy on coming into the season, and we're seeing it. I mean, we're seeing this guy, it's been a while. He's pretty due right now with regards to giving us a big game. He gave us like that huge game in week 2 with Detroit with the 30 plus games. So I think this is a good spot for him to, come back and give us a good wide receiver 1 production.
Yeah, for sure. Just his completion, catching the ball has gone down the last couple of games, and his targets have gone down, but I could definitely see them going back up for sure against the Ravens defense.
They've leaned on the running game, right?
Yeah,
the last couple of games, and that's why Swift's kind of blown up. So I feel like in this game, like I said, if they get ahead with Henry with the Ravens, the Bears are going to have to chase, and the only way to do that is in the air. So, even if it's garbage time, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see here. I'm just going with a defense here because I just need to save some salary because I have $4,525 per player, and that really can't get me much. So I'm just going to go to the lowest thing here. And since you have Eagles players, I'm just going to pick the Giants defense.
There you go.
That's it.
Strategy move. I like it.
Yeah. I'm just hoping to get at least some sacks, of course. Some turnovers would be even better, but I'm just hopefully they give me 5 points. That's all I need. That's nothing else to it.
Again, it's strategy, right? We're going head to head, so I mean, I don't hate it. And like you said, if their price is low, it fits in 2 different categories there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go tight end. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts. Miami right now giving up the 8th most points to tight ends. I like this matchup at home for Atlanta. I know Penix has not been great, but Pitts has been surprisingly good. Not surprisingly. I mean, I feel like, it's one of those where every year people were touting Pitts coming in. He's only 25, so you got to give these tight ends room. But he's a tight end 1 right now. He's tight end 11 fantasy points per game. Top 10 in a lot of stats right now. Design targets, he's the 4th tight end. Deep targets, 8th tight end right now. Air yards, top 10. Receptions, he's 7 at the position. So he's he's been involved and he's looked good. He hasn't those stupid drops that he's had the last few years, or kind of looked like uninterested in the games. He looks involved. And I think Penix could lean on him against the Dolphins. It is a weakness to that defense. So I'm going to go Kyle Pitts here at 3,900.
All righty. Yeah, great pick. Last 2 games, he's been getting 14 total targets. So he's averaging 7 targets per game last 2 weeks. The Dolphins have no answer to anything really on their defense. Like, even when they try to blitz, they can't even get to the quarterback. They're just in shambles. So yeah, Kyle Pitts is a good play, and it's a leverage on the Bijan Robinson play I picked on my
exactly.
Team. Yeah,
exactly.
There is a question in the chat here. Who should I start in my flex? Rashid Shaheed or Isaiah Pacheco?
Usually I'd say, are you an underdog or a favorite? But because Hunt is, who did they play against, KC, this week? Who did they play?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. So they're playing at home against a divisional rival. Raiders are giving up the ninth most points to the running back position. I'm going to lean Pacheco here, just because he's probably more dependable for you. He offers you a better floor, but the ceiling is not. I mean, the ceiling hasn't necessarily been there with him this year, but I feel like with Hunt not being around and them being at home, I like Pacheco in this spot. I might lean Pacheco here.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of leaning as well. With Hunt out, you just have Brashad Smith, who can vulture some carries and some passing work, but Shaheed's more of like a.
They're also
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Rick. I didn't mean to cut you off there. It's something.
I was just gonna say he's more of a ceiling play. Like the Buccaneers Saints game does look good on paper with the over under, but I think it's going to be more of the Olave show for the most part.
Yeah, Olave's definitely been coming along, which I'm happy about. I've got a lot of him coming in the season, but the Chiefs being 12.5-point favorites against Washington at home, you got to think they're going to lean on that run game. And I believe Jaden Daniels is not is he playing this week?
No,
he's out, right? Yeah,
he's out.
So I like the Chiefs here. I mean, I don't know the 12.5. I might take the Washington on that, because next week the Chiefs, I think, play Buffalo. Is it?
Yeah.
So, it's one of those. Maybe they look a bit past it, especially with Daniels being out. But I do think they lean on Pacheco in this spot here.
Yeah, for sure. So I hope that answered your question, Joe. And then a different Joe Carlton, said 2 on, no out.
Go Jays.
All right. So my next pick, let's go here. Go a lot of ways, but I need to save some salary again. I'll probably just move into my flex spot. But for right now, we'll just put in Troy Franklin against the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Excuse me. I like that a lot, actually. I was looking at him. Cowboys giving up the 3rd most points to receivers.
Yep, and they give away the most long plays as well. They're secondary. So I'm going to go with Franklin. Hopefully he gets them. Mims might be the guy, but Bo Nix seems to be targeting Franklin for the most part, other than Sutton.
Yeah, I was going to say Mims was another guy I looked at, because they're both kind of cheap. I was going to try to see who, target-wise, who was getting who it was last week that he focused on. I think it was Franklin, wasn't it?
Yeah, Franklin had 10 targets last game. I could find out what Mims had. Let me just see here. Mims had 7 targets.
Okay.
Sutton had 10 targets. So he was tied for the lead in targets.
What a crazy game that was.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was nuts. Yeah, so Mims with 7 and then Franklin with 10. Yeah, so crazy. He only caught 3 of those 10 though, eh?
Yeah.
Still got a touchdown.
He still got a touchdown.
Yeah. That's what matters at the end of the day. I mean, if he's getting looked at in the red zone. So yeah, no, that's a great pick. I like either one of those guys here.
Yeah.
All right. You've already taken your quarterback. You've already taken your defense. You just took your, so I guess we're not really going to be taking similar positions. So I'll just take the remaining spots. I'm going to go back and take Caleb Williams as my quarterback. I'm going to stack him with Odunze. Right now, the Ravens giving up the 9th most points to the quarterback position. Again, like I said, just looking at game script, one of the higher over-unders this week is something I usually look at. Whether they're behind or it's kind of one of those battles going back and forth, I think that Caleb can definitely get some fantasy points. He's at 5,600. So I like the price, and I like stacking him with one of my top receivers here.
Yep. And do you want to just go ahead and pick your defense now? Because we do have a flex spot that's both open on both teams. So
sure, I'll take the Falcons at home against Miami, 3,500. I can afford it.
3,500?
Yep.
Okay.
Unless that's changed since I looked at this.
No, it doesn't change.
Okay.
It stays once it's released.
Does it really? See, I didn't know that. I didn't know if it changed it. That's how long it's been since I played DFS, man. But that's good to know, because I was like, I wonder if these lines change it. Because I noticed some players that are injured are still in here. So you're probably, I guess you're right.
Yeah, they stay the same price. So like on Sunday, it's a big deal because like if a certain player is out, then like for instance, like Rico Daddle is like when Hubbard went out. Yeah. At first, he was like 4,800. Now he's up to like, he got up to like 6,800. Now he's dropped back down.
Wow.
So you got the Falcons defense. Yeah. The Dolphins aren't very good in offense, as long as Tua's throwing the ball. They have a bad O-line. Falcons have actually a pretty good pass defense. So good pick there.
Yeah, the Dolphins, just a team I was staying away from coming into the seasons. I've got Ollie Gordon stashed on some teams just because I really liked him and thought maybe if they do trade A-Chain away, he would get an opportunity. But it just, the whole Tyreek Hill, coming into the season was iffy. The Tua is not a quarterback I trust. So I think this is a good spot for Atlanta. Their defenses look strong this year, especially at home. This as a whole, this teams look good. So I can afford it. So I'll splurge a bit here on the Atlanta defense.
Okay. I still got a running back position and a flex position. So I'm going to take a look here. The running back. Who can I play? 5,900. Let me go back to your team real quick. You got Caleb Williams, Derek Hit, Saquon. Let's see here. It's tough. Let's see if we can make it work. I'll pick man, I don't know who to take here. 67 makes me 51. Can I make it work with 51? Not really. We'll just try it, see if it works out. I'll go ahead and take Rachaad White at my running back position. The Saints aren't very good in defense category. They're 24th against the run, so we'll go ahead and take Rachaad White against the Saints. Leaving me, let's see here, 5,400 for a flex, and you have your 5,800 for a flex. So you're up whenever.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up a post that I put up earlier this week at Goat District on X, if you guys want to check it out. Volume is king. Through 7 weeks, these are your NFL target monsters. Number 1, Chris Olave with 71 targets. So I'm going to throw him into my flex. I mean, receivers, tight ends, the number one thing you should be looking at is if they're being targeted, in my opinion. If you played fantasy long enough, that never steers you wrong. So I'm going to go Olave. It seems like he's in this week. I see a questionable there, but I don't think that won't have an injury designation on Sunday. So give me Chris Olave. Let him get peppered with some targets. hopefully get some points against Tampa Bay. They've been kind of middle of the pack, giving the 14th most point to the receiver position.
Mhm.
And if anyone's going to get honed in on it's Chris Olave. So I'll put him in my flex here.
Good pick. All right. So your team is Caleb Williams, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Zay Flowers, Devonta Smith, Roma Dunze, Kyle Pitts, Chris Olave, and the Falcons defense. Very good team. And I have 5,400 to spend for my last position.
I'm going to go shopping here.
Yeah. I'll probably swap him out of my. I'll probably put Franklin in my flex just because he plays later. But I am thinking of two players against a pretty good pass defense, but I want to see which one is better. So,
look at it. Jays are up 3-2, bases loaded, 0 outs. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go. I love it.
There we go. This point total is 46.5. We'll let it ride, and we'll go with Shakir with my last pick.
There you go. What is that? Bills on the road, right? Carolina?
Bills on the road, yep. Panthers are 7.5 point dogs. I wasn't able to get James Cook on this team. That's what I was thinking about for the most part. Is can I fit James Cook? I couldn't, but I want to get a piece of this game. So we'll go with Shakir over Coleman, even though it's pretty much a tie.
Yeah, it's tough. I have both of those guys in the fishbowl, and it's I'm lucky enough with some weeks to be able to put them both in, but when I got to choose, it sucks because it's I like Keon Coleman coming into the season. I thought he might take a bigger step forward. I mean, there's still time, obviously, and they're coming off a bye, so maybe he does kind of become more prominent role in that offense, but I like that against Carolina. I mean, they've got Dalton, the Red Rocket, playing. I don't know how good that's going to look. I know they've been better at home. The Carolina, they shut out. Who was it that they shut out at home? Was it Atlanta?
Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 22-0 or something like that. But I don't think the Bills coming off of a bye. I like putting a Buffalo Bill in your lineup. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah. And then I was doing the math, and I was like, I could. I really like who's the player? Rachaad White this week too, and I didn't want two Bills, so I just picked Rachaad White and just went with Shakir. I was going to go Cook or Coleman. It would be Coleman Cook, but I just went with Rachaad White and Shakir, and it saved me $300 in my balance. So
nice.
There we go. We got another Let's Go Toronto in the chat.
Nice.
So my overall team is Lamar Jackson, Bijan Robinson, Rachaad White, Jamar Chase, Alex Pierce, Khalil Shakir, Mark Andrews, Troy Franklin, and the Giants defense. Is there any particular charity that you are playing for this week, or is that going to be made on the fly?
Yeah, I'll do Sick Kids, which is a charity here in Toronto for basically Sick Kids Hospital, which is just children that are dealing with whatever it is. Basically, they're in the hospital for long periods of time, and Sick Kids is definitely a charity that is close to my heart. So we'll go there.
Sounds good. And I'll be playing for Ellis Square Friends, a local charity to me that helps with the homeless people in northern Massachusetts.
Nice.
Where are we at here? There we are. I was on the wrong tab. So they were at the. That's the thing I was missing the game for. Is I went to a fantasy benefit, a charity event for them because their funding's been cut. The link is right there, ellissquarefriends.com. If you want to check them out. And then we have the link here for sickkids.ca if you want to donate to them as well. So that is that. Thank you so much for hopping on, JD, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Rick, good luck, and good luck this weekend, man. Good luck to everyone out there. Make sure you guys, especially with Bimageddon, it's always interesting trying to manage your leagues. If you guys want to throw on a show while you're setting your lineups, make sure you check out the Week 8 playbook at the Goat District on YouTube. Check me out at Goat District on YouTube, and we'll check you guys later.
Yep. Have a good one, everyone.